Coarse aggregate is a key ingredient in concrete. It's what gives concrete its strength and durability. Without it, we wouldn't have the strong buildings, bridges and roads that we rely on every day. In simple terms, coarse aggregate refers to the larger pieces of rock or other materials that are mixed with cement. Fine aggregate like sand and water to make concrete. These pieces come in various sizes, shapes and materials. Understanding these characteristics is crucial in construction. The right type of coarse aggregate ensures the concrete performs its best. It's a bit like choosing the right ingredients for a recipe. Think of making a cake. If you use the wrong type of flour, it won't rise properly. Similarly, if you use the wrong type of coarse aggregate, your concrete might not be strong enough or it might crack too easily. This is why it's so important to understand this basic building block of our infrastructure. Let's start with size. You'll typically find coarse aggregate in sizes ranging from about 5 millimeters to as large as 80 millimeters. That's like comparing a small pea to a golf ball. The size we need depends on the job. A massive dam needs bigger chunks of aggregate than a sidewalk. Shape is another factor. Sometimes we need rounded aggregate, like what you'd find in a riverbed. Other times we need angular pieces, which come from crushing rocks. The shape affects how well the aggregate packs together and how strong the concrete will be. The source of the aggregate is also important. We can get it from natural sources like quarries or riverbeds. We can also use recycled materials like crushed concrete from demolished buildings. Using recycled aggregate is a great way to be environmentally responsible. Finally, the material itself matters. The most common type is crushed stone, but we also use gravel and even crushed concrete. The type of material affects the strength, durability, and even the appearance of the concrete. Now let's talk about the properties of coarse aggregate. We need to consider its physical, mechanical, and chemical characteristics. Physical properties include things like density and porosity. Mechanical properties refer to its strength and toughness. Chemical properties tell us how it will react with other materials like cement. One key aspect is the grading of coarse aggregate. Grading refers to the distribution of different sizes within a sample. Think of it like this. If you have a jar full of only golf balls, there will be a lot of empty space between them. But if you add some marbles and sand, you can fill in those gaps and make everything much denser. That's what we do with coarse aggregate. We use a mix of different sizes to minimize the voids or empty spaces in the concrete. This makes the concrete stronger and more durable. Proper grading is crucial for achieving the desired workability, strength and durability of the concrete. So, where do we use coarse aggregate? The answer is practically everywhere. It's in the foundations of our homes, the roads we drive on, the bridges we cross, and even in dams and airports. Choosing the right type of coarse aggregate is critical for the success of any construction project. We need to consider the specific requirements of the job. What kind of loads will the concrete be subjected to? What are the environmental conditions? What is the budget for the project? By carefully considering these factors, we can select the best type of coarse aggregate for the job and ensure a strong and durable structure. Understanding coarse aggregate is essential in construction. It's a fundamental component that significantly impacts the quality and longevity of our infrastructure. By paying attention to its characteristics, properties and grading, we can build structures that are not only strong and durable, but also safe and sustainable for generations to come. Remember, a solid foundation starts with the right aggregate.